On today's episode of the DeRaud-Messinger Show, we're discussing what the Bo Davis departure to LSU means for the Texas Longhorns. Texas fans, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. It's greatly appreciated. And check us out at HornSports.com for all the latest in Texas news. Now, Dylan, it comes with a heavy heart to say that the savior, Bo Davis, is heading to LSU to join the Brian Kelly staff. Now, I'm very slow and methodical with that delivery because it does hurt to see, Dylan. I mean, assistants get hired and fired, unfortunately, and that's just a part of life. But Bo Davis, I'm sure we'll talk about it in a little bit more, at least in depth. But Bo Davis was, I put on my notes in quotes, the culture setter for the Longhorns. I think everyone remembers about that fateful night in Iowa State when T'Vondre Sweat and a couple others, I think, were cracking up in the back of the bus, and then Bo Davis ripped into him and pretty much is saying, you shouldn't be enjoying or having fun with the losing to clean up the language, Dylan. But from that moment on, it seemed like something changed within the program. And of course, they rounded out the 2023 football season with a college football playoff appearance. Of course, it didn't go as well as many, including Davis himself, would have liked it to gone. But Dylan, what do you think this departure means for Texas?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely what felt like the spirit animal of the team, right? And I definitely had to watch the video one more time after seeing the announcement that he was leaving. And I think what sucks is I think LSU was really the one other spot that he would go to, right? Like it was just kind of like I think he did enjoy being at Texas, but LSU, it's hard to say no to that, especially when that's your alma mater. Especially when we talk about money and reasons for leaving, he got the most out of Byron Murphy and Devondre Sweat. And at that point, I think probably felt like time. And backing up the Brinks truck doesn't hurt either, right? For Brian Kelly. So yeah, it hurts to see him go. It's gonna leave a spot open, obviously, but also it's gonna change how I want to say with the new guys that are coming in, how they're kind of growing into these roles. And it's tough just because now you lose that consistent part with your, defensive line coach going with them. Um, it leaves a lot to the to speculation there. So obviously not what you like to see for Texas, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the upcoming season.
Very political answer there, Dylan.
Thank you,
I
thank
applaud
you.
you. You didn't offend anybody. But
It's my goal.
as you mentioned, jokes aside, Devondre Sweat, the Outland Trophy Award recipient, Byron Murphy. I won't say most likely is a first round pick, but he's really fringe first round, potential second round pick. Those are guys that were developed by him. Of course, they had a lot of potential early on in their careers, but they really didn't show it for a little bit. I mean, Murphy maybe yes, but Bo Davis really has brought the, I guess, floor for a lot of players up in his development, and that's a testament to him, of course, but also just his ability to connect to these players. It seems like with the announcement of all these players leaving Texas for the NFL draft, the first name I saw on the announcements, unless I just have a reading problem, Dylan, which at this point in time, it's a little late to be discovering these things, was that they had such a love and joy for playing for Coach Davis before they even
Yeah,
mentioned, Sark's name or anyone else. And yet again, that's not a shot at Sark. Bo Davis is the position coach for the defensive lineman, so it makes sense for them to mention his name, but they don't have to do that, Dylan. It seemed like they had a love for playing for him. Yet again, very intense guy. We joke about the Anthony Hill, caged animal. You let him loose and he's going to go attack that quarterback.
yeah,
Of course, different position, but Bo Davis as a coach seemed to have that same sort of mindset where he's going to get in your face. He's going to tell you
yeah.
things you need to hear before that game, and then Dylan, as soon as the ball is snapped, there's some ugly things that are happening on the field in a good way.
I
In a
mean,
good way.
yeah, I mean, and you saw his personality in his players. I feel like with Devondre Sweat and Byron Murphy really setting that tone. With Byron Murphy, I think he's going to be a first rounder. He's going to get into those interviews, and the team is going to fall absolutely in love with that guy with just the way that he plays. So expect that. But also, again, like very much how Bo Davis felt like he set the tone for the upcoming season, at least, and the end of that season. The defensive line was the one setting the tone early. Like the beginning of the season, when we were like, oh, we figured that the offense would be the Kickstarter to this team. They would carry the team. early on in the season, it was the defense that Texas was really hanging its hat on, and it really did start with that defensive line, and that was just absolutely the impact of Bo Davis.
100%. And just Dylan, he's elite yet again. I got to stress it because it's one thing to recruit players. He's an elite developer
Yeah.
and has experience at the NFL. Dylan knows that a little bit about his Lions, but also has a couple of different college football stops. And now he's going to add LSU to his list of stops. Of course, like he mentioned, he used to play at LSU, back in the day. But it's probably a little bit of a homecoming for Davis. There's also rumors, yet again, rumors, they might come to fruition, but maybe not, that he wants to coach his son, and that would involve a potential transfer to LSU. Yet again, that's to be determined, but that would be nice to see for him as well, a father coaching his son. But Dylan, yet again, just to get back on it really quick, really elite developer. The maybe silver lining here for Texas, Dylan, is that Bo Davis's recruiting wasn't insane in a positive way. I mean, he was a very solid recruiter, but there are some guys that are defensive line coaches that recruit up there with the best of them. However, though, the trade-off is a lot of the best recruiters aren't the best coaches. So I wouldn't be shocked, Dylan, if the maybe development of D lineman isn't up to the Bo Davis standard per se. But I think regardless, Sark has plenty of connections, and I do think he's going to be hiring someone that's going to be a very impressive hire. I have seen a lot of Nick Saban jokes to the D line. I don't think we're going to.
Oh, that would be something.
That would be
Imagine
funny.
that.
That would be so funny. I don't think that's happening, guys. I won't put any money on that. But I would be confident that Sark hires someone that is a good developer and is great at recruiting people. However, is it going to match that Bo Davis level, Dylan, that we've seen these past couple years? That's to be determined. I don't know. I don't know. Yet
They'll
again,
have the pick of the litter, though. So with some of the best defensive line candidates out there, Texas will have the pick of the litter with just the talent that they can recruit. And that's the thing with Sark. He's a very good recruiter. And with him, I think he understands this too, is finding coaches that are developers. You don't really, if you're good at recruiting and you got certain guys that are good as well, you don't need to fill the entire staff with just recruiters. You still need guys that are more focused in the development area. I think there will be a good choice out there, and I'm curious to see who it will be.
100%. And some of the Bo Davis guys that he's brought on have plenty of potential too. Just star wise, yet again, stars. Once you get to college football, Dylan, stars don't matter. Star wise, maybe not the highest of position groups, even for Texas, but in terms of results, as we've talked about, that has been probably the highest stars you could give to any actual on-field unit. And as you said, I have confidence that Sark is going to hire the best guy out there, at least in his eyes, as a fit for the program. However, we're going to have to see, and he's going to have to prove that he can develop those players at Texas. You got to give him some time. You got to have some faith. But all in all, congrats to Bo Davis for returning to LSU. We all, of course, wish him all the best. And Dylan, he's going to get a nice little money bag for it, too. I'm sure he's
Oh
going to
yeah.
nice little raise. I wish we could be involved in that part of the cut, but unfortunately we missed out on that part. But more importantly, as always, than our thoughts and jokes, what do you think about Bo Davis's departure from Texas to LSU? Let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, have a great rest of your day.